Hi everybody, namaste. How are we today? We're going to do quite a gentle class today, just to get everybody moving, and to some of you haven't done a class for over 2 weeks since we closed the classes due to coronavirus, and so this is just to get everybody moving. Some quite familiar postures that we do in our regular classes, and so yeah, we thought we'd just have a nice kind of gentle class. We'll just stretch everything out today, and then I've got a mudra for you towards the end of the class, a little bit of meditation, and also a yoga nidra. So I pulled an oracle card for you today from Gabby Bernstein's deck, and this is the oracle card today. Beautiful sun shining in the darkness, lighting up the world. And it says, "My fearless freedom lights up the world." And the mudra we're going to do today is the fearless mudra. So that is a really appropriate card for us today. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So before we begin our yoga, let's just do a little bit of centering. So I'd like you to come to a nice seated position, take a good posture, and root down into your sit bones, engage your core a little bit, and lengthen through the spine. And place both hands on the lower belly. It doesn't matter which one's on top, which one's below, whichever feels right for you. And we're going to find our center. So in this uncertain times that we're living in, I'm finding that some days I'm feeling quite normal, and some days I'm feeling a little bit tearful, and some days I'm feeling maybe a little bit anxious or a bit worried about family and worried about where we're going to end up. So when we have those little things that bubble up, maybe sometimes we weren't expecting them, they can bubble up in unexpected places and times, then let's just practice a breath to bring us back to our center, and a visualization. So closing your eyes and lengthen and deepen your natural inhale. Feel the diaphragm doming down so that the belly gets pushed outwards. And then let your exhale just naturally come up from the belly through to the nose. And then in the center of the lower abdomen, behind the navel and down a little bit, imagine there a beautiful ball of light about the size of a tennis ball. And every time you breathe in, you fill that ball of light with energy. And this is said to be the very center of your being. Imagine it as being like your center of gravity, your pivotal point between the lower body and the upper body. And you might want to imagine it being filled with a light, and that light might have a color. So it could be the color white, like a beautiful, pure white healing light, golden, or an earthy color. And this is the seat of the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra. And the color of that chakra is always represented by the color orange. So maybe naturally the color orange has sprung to mind. The orange like a sunset, a beautiful, burnt, rich orange. So whenever you feel uneasy, disquiet, anything that is unsettling, wherever you are, just pause and send your breath down into this center. And imagine a beautiful light shining here. Okay, Then slide your right hand onto the solar plexus and left hand on top. Close your eyes again. And breathe here into the fire center, Manipura chakra. So we still have to act in our day-to-day life in this time. Some people are still working, some people managing a very different home life than they used to. We still have to act, we still have to find the fire in the belly. So breathe in here. Feel the heat from the right hand feeding the fire in the belly. Energy rising, confidence rising from this place. And then bring the left hand onto the heart. Place the right hand on top. And take a few breaths, feeding your beautiful, pure, sacred heart with a few nice deep breaths. This is the air center, Hatha chakra. Fill it with a beautiful rose pink. Colour of love, self-love. All is well. I'm safe. And then bring your hands into prayer position. A little bow. So now we're going to do our yoga. So start moving. I'm going to move on to my mat. So if you'd like to grab yourself a drink of water, and you need a block and a cushion, maybe 2 blocks, maybe 2 cushions. So have a little bit of kit ready by your mat, and then we'll start on our asana practice. We're going to start in the middle of our mat, sitting cross-legged. And we're just going to start wriggling ourselves into the ground. Hands on the knees, and let's start to just roll into the ground. Let's get a nice rhythm going with this movement. Press down the knees as you come round, lean into the sit bones. Breathing in comes the front, breathing out behind you. Breathing in, breathing out. Everything moving, lovely flowing movement. Pause and go the other way. Your breath going this direction. Spiral in, last 3 breaths. Make your circle smaller and smaller. Spiral in, spiral in, spiral in. Until you come to a nice tall spine. Settle here. Fingertips to the floor. Make sure the shoulders are above the hips. Spine tall. Press down through your sit bones, but at the same time reach the crown of the head towards the sky. Turn your fingertips, palms outwards, breathing in for mountain breath. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. On your held breath, reach the heels of the hands up towards the sky. And on your out breath, let the arms travel back down to the ground. Turn your palms outwards, breathing in. Imagine yourself rooted into the earth, just like a beautiful mountain. Held breath here. Out breath here. As you breathe out and soften, keep the spine tall and lifted, even when the shoulders are relaxing. Breathing in, last mountain breath. Breathing held here and breathing out here. Let's incorporate a side bend into that movement just to start to open up the ribs and move the spine into a side bend, breathing in. This time let's stay here, slide the hands above the head, and on an exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, come back up to center, keep both sit bones grounded and lean to the left. Breathing into the right, to the center, sorry, and breathing out to the right. Turn your head slightly if you find that helpful. Breathe into center, release the arms down. And let's move the shoulders a little bit, so just roll your shoulders and settle. If you need to slide a cushion under your hips or a block, please feel free to do that. So close your eyes. Come into your center, tune into those beautiful shoulders and just see if there's any tension there in the shoulders and the neck. And then squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. So I call this the honey monster pose. We squeeze here on the inhale. First the lips as if you're blowing through a straw. Push the shoulders down as far as I'll go. Bounce them back up on the in breath. And down to the ground, towards the ground, out breath. One more. Relax. Bring your awareness to your right shoulder and do 3 big circles with the right shoulder backwards. And then 3 the other way. Picking the shoulder up and going forwards 3 times. And then pick the shoulder up towards the ear, drop the head over and squeeze the neck. Pick the head up and let the shoulder drop down. The difference between the right shoulder and the left shoulder. I feel like my right shoulder is about an inch lower than my left. So let's go the other way 3 times, really taking your time. Don't worry if the shoulder kind of makes like a crunching sound in this. They usually do that, it's just the muscle fibres and they're rubbing against each other. 3 times the other way. Isolating all of that left shoulder. And then pick up the shoulder, squeeze the muscles there, give them a little squeeze. And then bring the head up and release. And then keep here a little engagement here in the core. When we want to keep the shoulders relaxed, we engage here, that supports the stick of the spine, and then the shoulders can soften because the core is doing the work. Now we can slowly drop the head right ear to right shoulder and the shoulders don't move because the core is doing the work. Settle here for a couple of breaths. When you're ready on your next inhale, up, up, up slowly. Exhale, lower, left ear to left shoulder. I always find this side's tighter. I always find this, I've got a tightness here that's not on the other side, so this is a good one to do if you find you've got an imbalance there as well. One more over, right ear to right shoulder. Breathe into that stretch. Whenever you're ready to in breath, breathe in, come up. And breath over. Breathe into and let it feel super tight. And up and inhale. Drop your chin to the chest. Let's do a couple of circles here. So just slide the chin up to the right shoulder. And then lift the nose and the chin up, but keep your neck long. Don't flip the head back and then bring the chin to the other shoulder. Twice each way. Just taking the neck into all the different movements that it makes, all the different directions. Chin back to the chest and then all the other way. Left shoulder, create a beautiful big circle with the nose and the chin. And then bring the chin back down. And then release. Head up. Okay. Hands to the floor. fingertips down. Let's do side bends to start off with. So we're going to come up on an inhale, bend the right elbow and lean over. Keep both sit bones on the ground and turn the head. Breathe in, let the right arm trail, and then breathe out. Turn your head slightly. Put your fingertips to the side. Breathe in, come up, and let the left arm trail, and then breathe out, bend the elbow and take your shoulder girdle over to create the side bend. Try not to let the body drop forwards when you do these movements. Imagine you're between two panes of glass. So you're in a true side bend. And I find it's helpful if you look up, it helps to keep this upper arm in the correct position. Okay, next time we go up to over to the right, we're going to hold for a count of 3. So 2, and look up. 3 breaths here. You can lift out of it a little bit on your inhale and draw up a bit deeper on the exhale. Push your left sit bone into the ground. Create even more stretch through the waist. Whenever you're ready to come up, inhale. 3 breaths on this side. Press your right sit bone down so you're not leaning. So you can add a bit more space. Up on your inhale whenever you're ready. And come back to centre and roll the shoulders again. Let's pull forwards now into a back bend. So lift the chest, lift the chin, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then tuck your tail, pull the belly button back, round the spine, and tuck the chin right in. Tuck your tail right under. Inhale, come forwards. Find space in the front body. Exhale, come back and find space in the back body. Inhale, roll through. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, roll back, tuck your tail, walk onto the back, sit bones and round. Let's come forward and hold the breaths now. Come forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lengthen. Push your sit bone down, push your tailbone down and reach the crown up. Extension. And then when you exhale, round back, here comes the cat and flexion. And hold here for a couple of breaths. Open up the shoulder blades as wide as they go so you can really feel some space being created here. And then we're ready and clear. And Cinnamon has joined us now. Okay, so now you might want to, oh, we haven't done a twist yet. Sorry, if I was going to go on to the next thing. Cinnamon's distracted me. So for the twist today, we're going to cross the arms across the body. And we're going to do some little twists from here. Lengthen up through the spine, breathing in, and then rotate to the right, breathing out. Okay, breathe in. What we're trying to do here is use these muscles around the waist. So rather than using the shoulder girdle on the arms. So let's see if we can really use these muscles to create the twist. Lengthen on the in breath. Twist the left out breath. Don't worry about the head. Keep your head central. Breathe into center and breathe out to the right. Breathe into center and breathe out to the left. Breathe into center, one more to the right. Squeeze those toe muscles to create the rotation. And back to center. Okay, now we're going to come all the way to the right and we're going to drop the hands down and include the arms as well. So lengthen through the spine, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Drop the hands down and breathe in, lengthen through the spine. And as you breathe out, push a little bit deeper. 3 breaths here. You can hold that quite static. Or if you like, you can see if you can ease yourself a bit deeper each out breath. Inhale when you're ready to come back. Charging breath. Exhale as you uncurl. Cross your arms the other way. This time I'm going to put my left arm on top of my right. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale to the left. Drop the arms down. Inhale, lengthen. Push up into the spine. Create space. Exhale, twist round. 3 breaths in. When you're ready to come out, inhale, lifting, exhale, back. Now, an interesting thing for this twist is if we change our leg position, if you're in a cross leg position, if you're not, then stay as you are. And I find this challenges this hip a little bit when I cross my legs in a way that they're not used to being crossed. So quite useful to do the twist this way as well. So I'm going to bring my left arm on top of my right arm on top of my left. Let's do the same thing with the legs in this slightly more awkward position. Breathing and lengthening. Breathe out, twist to the right. Bring your hands down and breathe in. And exhale, rotate deeper to the right. 3 breaths here. Notice what happens in the hips when we do a twist with the legs in this position. And you're ready to come out, breathe in after 3 breaths and go. Now I'm going to cross my left arm over my right. Breathing in, breathe out. Hands down, push through, breathing in and breathe out. 3 breaths here. Breathe in, lift and lengthen. Breathe out and kill. Now let's release those legs in right in front of you. Give your knees a little rub and your hips a little rub if you need to. And a little shake out. I'm going to grab my block. You might want to use a block or 2 here. We're going to start a little sequence now with straddle pose. So take the feet wide. Shake out the legs again. So as wide as you can comfortably go here with the legs. I can't go any wider here because it's a cabin way. And let's just warm up the muscles here. So your inner thigh muscles are here, kind of in the center, and round towards the back you've got a hamstring there. Often really tender and tight. So just warming those up, flex the feet, point the toes towards the sky, and then it's quite nice to bring the ground up to meet you by using a block, and bring your hands to the block. And then I'm going to go sideways to show you the position of the spine. So when we come into a straddle posture, if we've got the tail tucked under and we're slightly on the back of the sit bones, then the spine tends to create this shape, slight rounded through the spine. And then when we try to forward bend, we tend to kind of do this with the spine. But if you can come up and push into the ground and tuck your tail back a little bit, shift it back a little bit, then your pelvis is already tilted forward. Much easier now to do a forward bend. Okay, so I'm going to use my block to bring my hands here. I'm going to flex my feet because the legs are really active in this movement. And I want to just keep my spine straight as I breathe in and lengthen from the tailbone to the top of the neck. And then I'm going to hinge from the hips and lean forwards here. Wiggle, wiggle, come out of it. If you need to realign, try to my chin. I'm always aware that I'm trying to align my neck with the rest of my spine. Grip the mat with your heels, lean a bit deeper. You can get your elbows onto the block or to the floor. That's fine. And if you can't, please don't worry about it. It's not a competition. What we're looking for here is an opening up the channels in the legs. But we're keeping the spine straight because we're leaning into it rather than curling the spine. Let's take 3 more breaths here. I can feel that I'm dropping a little bit deeper with each breath. This feeling. You feel those long muscles kind of giving in and releasing the resistance a little bit. Okay. And then from here, let's walk our way back up. Nice tall spine once again. Okay. So I'm going to spin around now because we're going to do a different posture, but you stay as you are, because what you're going to do is keep one leg straight and bend the other leg. So if I come this way first, you can use a couple of props here. So I'm going to use a cushion and a block. And I'm going to start off, I'm still on my front of my sit bones, so I've still got that little tilt there in the hip. I'm going to bend my left leg and just bring the foot to touch the inner thigh on the right leg. And we're going to do a side bend with a twist here. So you might want to put a block under the left knee. And I'm finding it really useful, because I've got quite tight hamstrings, to put a cushion under that right knee. Okay. You don't need to do either of those if your hamstrings are quite long and your hip is okay on this side. So let's start with reminding us of our side bend. So a true side bend is just tipping side to side, not this, not rolling. Okay, so side bend, muscle memory. This is what a side bend feels like. The more we do things in the correct way, the more the muscle memory logs that movement and it knows how that feels. And then when we rotate to a twist this way, twist that way, we keep the spine tall as we rotate around the spine. Keep yourself twisted over to the left knee. Bring your thumb to the chest, middle finger to the knee. Okay, and then we're going to slide the right hand down the right leg as we come into our side bend with the twist. We keep the twist, keep the chest in line with the knee, but we're side bending here. Breathing in, let's do 3 of these. Breathing out. Breathing in, really being aware of this shoulder. The shoulder does not drop forward, it stays up and open. And the next time we come up, we can bring the left arm up, breathing in like we've done the side bend, breathing out, turn the head slightly. If you can reach your big toe, you can hold the toe and pull yourself through for a little bit deeper. 3 breaths here. Keep that arm up, turn your head if that helps. And always we come out of postures on an in-breath, so use your in-breath to lift. And then down. Bring the right hand to left knee. Lift on the inhale, rotate. 3 breaths here. See how far around behind you can see. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Maybe here we could just add in a little forward bend here as well. Tuck your chin. 3 breaths here. Okay, and let's swap sides. So, experiment with whatever props work for you. Switch over. So now the left leg comes into straddle and the right leg tucks under. I'm going to support my left knee with this cushion, but you don't have to do that. And you can support that knee if you feel like you need to as well. Let's start side bend, reminding the body what a true side bend is. And then let's start rotation, rotation, rotation. Bring the chest in line with the knee. Slide the left hand down the leg. Keep the twist as we side bend. Up on the inhale, down the exhale. Keeping the shoulder lifted. So tempting to want to push ourselves further into the posture that we end up doing this with the body. But that's not the posture. The posture is a twist with a true side bend. Next time we come down, let's just experiment with this for a moment. Let's see if we can reach the toes. Because I found with this cushion here, lifting the knee, I can reach my toes more. If I have the cushion away, it's harder for me to get down there. But if I have the cushion under, I'm letting my hamstrings, giving them a little rest. Now I can hook my fingers around my big toe, or bring the hands onto the top of the toes. I quite like this one here. And then I can still keep my shoulder lifted, and I can use this arm to pull myself a little bit deeper into the side bend. A little bit of traction there on that foot. But please don't worry about that if it compromises this alignment here. That's more important. So inhale here. As we slide down, the right arm lifts. Create space in the waist as you lift up, and then side bend with that twist. And if you can reach your toes, that's fine. And if you can't, please don't worry about it. Just rest your leg, your hand on the knee or the shin. Inhale whenever you're ready to come up. And then block or no block, forward bend here. And then let's have a little experiment. If we come back into full straddle, let's see if doing those two movements have created a bit more space for our full straddle pose. And maybe you could also experiment with a little support bend at each of the knees. 2 cushions is good, or 2 blocks. Okay, and you have one of each, so I'm going to try both. And then bring the hands in front of you and see if you can walk yourself into forward bend here as well. Trying to keep the spine quite straight again. Hinging from the hips, flexing the feet. And let's find straddle pose here. Tuck the chin, close your eyes. Lengthen that spine with every in-breath and soften a bit deeper with every out. I think I've got a bit more space from doing those half straddle postures. My legs are about an inch longer actually. Okay, and whenever you're ready, stay a bit longer if you like, or come back up when you're ready. And then let's bring the legs together. They've had quite a good stretch there, so shake out this way and give them a little shake out this way. You need to give them a little rub, and please feel free. Okay, and then from here we're going to spin around. I'm going to spin around, you can stay where you are, and we're going to come into forward bend over the legs. So let's experiment with our posture this way. Have a sip of water on your way around. So we're going to start off in staff pose. Another name for this posture is stick pose. And it refers to the spine as being the stick in the body that gives you your good posture and supports your whole nervous system that is housed within the spinal column. In staff pose, you can slide your fists here and push down and use that little pressure there to keep your spine nice and straight, especially if you find that you need to do a bit of strengthening work in your back. So you can use the arms to help you out here. Grip the mat with your heels, pull the belly in, core strengthening, lower back strengthening. Be aware of the position of your head. Your ears should be directly above your shoulders. 3 breaths here. You can also, if you've got that position, you feel like your back is really straight, you can bring your hands into your lap. A bit more challenging. Okay. Now again, I'm going to try a forward bend with a little bit of support under my knees to release the hamstrings. We're going to do forward bend in 2 stages. So just like in the straddle posture, We're going to keep the back straight for the first out breath. So hands here on the thighs, breathing in and lengthen the spine. Hinge from the hips as you come forwards. Take another breath here, breathing in. And now you can round the spine as you drop forwards. Slide your hands to whatever they land. Soften the elbows, hands, shoulders, head. Really deep in breath. Come forwards, out breath. Long, long, long inhale from the tailbone to the top of the neck. Out breath. One more. Okay. And then we're going to uncurl slowly. So imagine your spine is like a pile of bricks, and as you come up, you're placing one brick on top of the next brick. So rebuild your spine breath by breath, brick by brick. And come back to your upright position. Bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, breathing in, very simple sitting twist. Rotate to the right, take your head with you slightly. 3 breaths here. Breathe in to come out, ready self. Breathe out, uncurl. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, lengthen the inhale. Rotate that shoulder girdle on the exhale, and 3 breaths here. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to center. And then pick up your right leg and just drop it out to the side. Okay, I'm still going to support my left knee with this cushion, and I can also prop. So a bit like the straddle, but instead of the straddle now we've got the legs in this straight position. Similar sort of thing to the straddle, but different thing going on in the lower back with this posture. So as we come into this asymmetrical posture, I'm going to do a forward bend here. Feel into the whole area here around the kidneys, because this knee that's coming out to the side really opens up the kidney area on this side, and your lower back gets a stretch on the other side. So feel that as we come into the forward bend. So from a tall spine position, breathe in. Same thing here, we're going to hinge from the hips, keeping the spine straight, breathing out. And then take another in breath here. And this time soften, round, lower, over that leg. Tuck your chin, let your head hang heavy, and 3 breaths here. Walk your hands back when you've done 3 on an inhale. Breathing in, re-sucking the spine. And only when your spine is really nice and tall and long, spin around into a twist again. Lengthen on the inhale. Flex your left foot so you've got something to push against to rotate to the right. 3 breaths here. Notice how far around you can see. My friend, you get a very deep twist with the hips and legs in this position. So see how far around you can see behind you. Inhale to charge yourself, ready. Exhale. Back to center. And then let's rotate both legs in front. And give them a shake out. Close your eyes for 1 moment. See if you can feel the difference in the right and the left. Right leg, left leg. Right hip, left hip. Right lower back, left lower back. And kidney area as well. And then we're going to pick up the left knee. Drop it straight out to the side. We don't want to twist the hips here, so we just drop that leg straight out. Support the knee if you need to. Tuck the sole of the foot against the inner thigh of the right leg. And then I like to just support my right knee here with a cushion. See how that works for you. Same thing here, we're going to charge in breath. Inhale. Lean from the hips. Exhale. Take another in breath, looking forward. lift out of the hip, and then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, and take 3 breaths here. Walk your hands back whenever you've done 3. So on your next in-breath, on the 4th in-breath, walk the hands back and restack the spine like a beautiful pile of bricks. One to the other, like a Jenga. One to the other till you've got a nice tall spine. Rotation, so right hand to left knee, lengthen. 3 breaths here once you're in position. Breathe in to charge the body, ready to come back. Breathe out and curl. Release there. Props under the legs. Give the legs a little shake out. And then from here, we're going to do a sitting twist. So let's pick up the right leg and bring it up like so. Twist is here. You can tuck your heel into the hip and you can do a sitting twist like so. Or you can drop the right foot over the left knee and you can do a twist like that. Either way, you want to keep the spine tall. And what we don't want to do here is overly kind of grab a hold of this knee. So say if I wrap my arm like this, and that makes me round my spine like this, I don't want to twist my spine in that position. So you might want to loosen off your grip here a little bit so you've still got a tall spine. And then the right hand can come behind you, breathing in. And then you can breathe out and rotate to the right. And 3 breaths here. Really important that we don't compromise the integrity of the spine with the rest of the posture. Actually, let's say another 3 breaths because these deep twists are really good for digestive system, spine. Flex your left foot and hold another 3. Charging breath, inhale whenever you're ready. Slowly unwind and repeat on the other side. Left leg up. I'm going to go up and over because I'm going to do the same position on both sides. Really aware of the length of my spine as I get a hold of that knee. And then around we go to the left on the exhale. Flex the right foot and 6 breaths here. Close your eyes. Feel all the little adjustments the body makes as you hold. Whenever you're ready, inhale as you start to prepare to come back. Exhale. And then both legs in front of you. Let's finish this little section with a sitting forward bend again. Support the knees if that's useful for you. Hands on the thighs, breathing in, slide the hands down. As you lean, breathe in, look forwards, and a bit more space. Soften. And let the whole of the body drape over the legs. Let your palms roll up and open or in a gesture of surrender and softening. 6 breaths here. And then slowly on your next inhale, walk your hands back up. Bring your cushion out. Let's come back into staff pose or stick pose. So let's settle here. And again, you can bring your fist by your hips, grip the mat with your heels, and just see here if you've created a little bit more space and length in the back body. And then from here, pick your knees up, like so. Drop the knees out so that the soles of the feet come together. This posture is called tailor pose. You can have a little wiggle here. If you slide your heels closer to the perineum, then we're going more into a cobbler pose. And you can hold the knees or the shins or the ankles. If you can wrap your fingers and interlace them around the feet, that's also really nice, because as you pull the feet up, the spine goes tall and long and the knees move automatically towards the floor. So let's hold here for a couple of breaths. Pull on the feet, reach the crown towards the sky and reach the knees towards the ground. And you can also here do a little butterfly, just lifting the knees up and down like butterfly wings as well. Okay, settle here with a couple of breaths. And then release the hands. Pick your knees up and give them a little squeeze together. And then let's try a little balance here into boat pose. So start to pick your feet up off the floor. Now, if your coccyx is okay, sometimes people have damaged coccyx and this is excruciatingly painful. Please don't do this if you have a damaged coccyx. But if you can rock back onto your coccyx, so you make like a little tripod with your two sit bones and the tailbone, and then lift the chest towards the knees so that your spine straightens. And see, find that little balancing point. And this is the balancing point we use in boat pose. And boat pose is really good for strengthening core muscles in the lower abdomen, the lower back, and also the hip flexors at the front of the hip joints. So let's change hand position now and hook your hands underneath your knees. Come back into that little balancing point. See if you can lift your legs so that the shins come parallel to the floor. Keep the chest lifted towards the knees. So there's different variations of this pose. Release that and have a little rest. Okay, and then come back up again. So simple version is just here balancing. And if that's okay for you for today, perfect. If you can lift the legs a little bit more challenging. If you can let go of the legs and bring the hands here, a little bit more challenging. And if you can straighten the legs and lean back a little bit more challenging as well. Come back down all the way to start position. Have a little rest. Don't go to any position where your breath starts to feel laboured, because that's your body telling you that you're trying too hard, and we don't need to do that. We want to find the optimum position for our body to get the maximum benefit from each pose. So, no competition with me or anybody in the room or with yourself. So whatever is the best posture for you to get the best benefit of this, even if it's here, that's perfectly fine. This is a nice midway because quite hard, gravity's got a really good pull on those legs. So this is also, hard enough for some people, and that's fine. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, but watch your breath. You can always go back a step if you've gone too far, or if you've got a cat underneath your legs. And then the counter poses here. Rounding the spine, giving the spine a little rest. Quite strong in the lower back, this posture. And then just come back and choose one again and hold for about 3, 4, 5, 6 breaths, something like that, whatever feels right for you. Find a position that you can hold. So this is a challenge, but it's not a strain. And then relax forward whenever you're ready. Tuck your chin and have a little walk from side to side. Okay, so let's spin around now into child's pose. Have a drink of water on your way around, if you like. Come towards the back of your mat. Knees are in line with the hips. Hands are in line with the knees. Walk your hands along the mat and your hands stay in line with the shoulders. And settle here. You can walk your right hand a little bit further than your left and just stretch the right shoulder. Open up the ribs, the side waist. Push your right sit bone towards your right heel. Relax that arm. Walk your left arm away. Your left shoulder. Push your left sit bone down towards the left heel. Open up that shoulder joint. Keep the left hand there and walk your right hand to meet it. And take a couple of breaths here. Relax the elbows to the floor and settle in child pose for 3 breaths. Keep your arms above your head or slide your hands back to meet your feet. And let's do a little bit of cat and cow pose now and dog pose. So you can slide onto all fours like this, and you might need to pad your knees for this position if you've got delicate knees. If your wrists don't like that at all, then please feel free to drop down onto your elbows. Hands here. Some people like this position. My elbows don't really like that position, so I prefer to do my hands like so. So either on all fours or on the elbows. Please choose what's the best for you. And that might change from day to day, and that's fine. So press the tops of the feet into the ground. Press the knees down. Press the hands down and round your spine up into an arch for cat pose. Push down to rise up. Tuck your tail, tuck your chin, stretch. And then soften that pressure a little bit as you drop your belly. Soften the pressure downwards as you reach the crown towards the sky and the tailbone towards the sky in the opposite direction. So as you arch on an out breath, press down into the ground. So pushing down to rise up. And as you breathe in, soften the pressure. Feel the lightness in the body. And as you breathe out, press down. And feel the power in your body coming up from the earth beneath you. And then soften and feel a lightness in your body. Another round or two. And tuck your tail and make the movement originate at the tailbone. Roll the movement like a wave. All the way to the top of the neck. And then keep your head where it is, and same thing, movement starts at the tailbone and you move your in-breath and your back bend with in that silent movement as well. One more. Push down to rise up. Soften as you lift your tailbone. Soften the pressure as you drop your belly. Drop the chest and reach the crown. Come back to a neutral spine. We're going to come up into downward facing dog. And if you're on your elbows, you can do the same thing. Tuck your toes and just lift your hips up into dolphin, modification of dog. So we're going to take the weight back onto the heels a little bit, and let's use the strength in the legs to lift the tailbone high up into the air. Walk your feet a little bit, make sure they're at least hip width apart. Spread the fingers. Okay, now ears by your upper arms and walk on the spot. Push one heel down and then the other. Let the hips kind of rock from side to side. And just stretch out the Achilles, the calf muscles, and let the hips get a little bit of freedom here. And then settle in the center, soft knees, long spine, 3 cleansing breaths here. Breathing in through the nose, breathe out through the teeth of the chest sound. Pull the belly in and breathe out from the belly. Walk your hands forwards and come into a plank pose. Let's use the breath now. From plank here, we're going to push up, inhale, and soften the knees, exhale into dog. Inhale, shift your weight to your hands, exhale into plank. Inhale, push up, core engage strongly. Exhale into dog. Inhale and exhale into plank. Inhale, lift the hips high. Exhale into dog. Last one. Inhale, shift your weight, plank. Inhale, shift your weight, dog, bend the knees. You can take 3 more breaths here, or you can come onto your knees if you're ready. Okay, and then we're going to come into a lovely child pose, stretch out here, and then walk ourselves onto our bellies. Come onto the belly, find the belly on the ground, feet together, wriggle the hips, slide your hands in front of you. And then from here, we're going to press the hands into the floor, the elbows and shoulders are quite relaxed. Engage your core, and on an inhale, roll your nose on the mat. Press your elbows and hands into the floor. Look at your thumbs and just lift the chest off the floor. 3 breaths. Try to relax the glutes and the legs and make your back muscles do the work. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll. Slide the hands a bit closer to the shoulders. Engage your core. Inhale, push into the hands, lift the head off the mat. Now the whole of my abdomen is on the floor, but all the ribs are lifted. Chin's up to look at the floor, just beyond the index fingers. 3 breaths here. And notice if the glutes are kicking in. Try to relax them so the back muscles have to contract deeply to strengthen. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Great. Last one is the Sphinx pose. Slide your hands to the side of the head. And push yourself up. And this time the elbows drop underneath the shoulders and you get that lovely right angle position with your at the elbows. Wriggle into that. If your lower back needs to be just kind of ease into that back bend, give it a little bit of movement. And then let's settle here for 3 breaths. So in Sphinx pose, we lift the neck out of the shoulders by reaching the crown towards the sky, and that releases the compression in the lower back as much as possible. Relax the glutes, relax the legs. So it's so tempting for the glutes to engage and kick in, but we don't want that to happen, so let them soften. And then from here, we're going to do a little twist. Breathe into center, breathe out to the right, and look over your shoulder and so you can see your feet in your peripheral vision. Breathe into the center, breathe out to the left, little squeeze. Breathe into center, and breathe out to the right. Left. And the tweak side. This movement gives a really good squeeze for the kidneys. So we give them a squeeze, push all the blood out the kidneys, and then when we release, fresh blood fills the kidneys. So really good for cleansing the kidneys, aiding in the detoxing process that we do through yoga practice. Let's settle back here for 3 more breaths. The lower back is really complaining, moving the lower back down. Next, inhale, elbows wing out to the sides. Exhale, lower, tuck your chin, forehead to the floor. Slide your hands to your ribs and push yourself up. And we're going to curl the spine into a forward bend to counter pose those backward bends. So bring your knees right underneath the chest as you lower. Bring your hands onto your back and give your back a little rub. Bit of heat, bit of friction. Nice with the lower back. And when you feel like you've soothed that lower back, just let your hands drop to the feet and let your shoulders drop away from the spine. And then bring your hands either side of the knees, palms down. Press into the palms, tuck your chin to your chest and curl. And stack that spine again like a pile of bricks or blocks. Up, 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 forward. So this is a lovely posture, hero pose, for a meditation posture. But if this is really not kind to your knees, spin yourself round to an all fours position or support yourself with a little cushion or a block underneath. That sometimes can take the pressure off this flexion in the knee joint. And as we sit in hero pose to close our practice, you can bring your left hand onto the lap like so, right hand on top, and just bring the thumbs to touch in meditation mudra. Roll the shoulders, engage your core, tuck the chin, always trying to bring the neck into line with the rest of the spine. Take a full breath in, so right down to that center, right down to that ball of light in the center of the lower abdomen. All the way up into the chest. Breathing out from the belly to the chest. Breathing in from the belly. All the way up to the chest and the throat. Hold at the top of the inhale and then pull the belly in and squeeze the breath out as if you're pushing toothpaste out of a toothpaste tube. Scan your body, see how you feel. Scan all the different parts of your body and see if you can feel subtle changes that have happened through your practice. You're totally connected to your breath. And notice how the mind is in this moment. And then bring your hands into prayer position, drop your chin to your chest. And if you want to finish your practice here, you can lie down into Shavasana for over 10 minutes. You can do a seated meditation. Or yoga nidra. We're going to do mudra and meditation and then yoga nidra. So if you'd like to bring yourself to a seated position, have everything ready for your relaxation. So have blankets, eye pillows, cushions, pillows all ready. Okay, So I've got this beautiful fearless mudra to share with you today. And as I said to you before, every mudra in every book is different, which is a bit frustrating, but it's called the Abhaya mudra, and it's the mudra to do with fearlessness. In one of the books, it's called Have No Fear Gesture. So if you bring your right hand up to the shoulder like so, like a stop sign, like you're traffic warden or traffic policeman and you're doing the stop sign. And then the left hand can come into like a dish kind of shape like so. And you can bring the left hand onto the lap. You can also just have the left hand resting on the leg. And you can bring the hand to the heart. But for this one, we're going to keep the left hand down at the base of the abdomen, so that as we breathe down into the back into that ball of energy in the lower abdomen, imagine that this hand is kind of holding the ball of energy. So bring the hand to lower abdomen, left hand, right hand up. And the right hand is kind of active, it's not kind of soft like this, it's kind of pushing the palm open. And take a few breaths to slide the in-breath all the way down into the belly. Again, imagine a ball of light about the size of a tennis ball being filled there with the breath. Imagine you're really finding your center. Finding your center. My fearless freedom lights up the world. The Sanskrit for the word abhaya, which is the name of this mudra, the Abhaya mudra. The Sanskrit for the word abhaya literally means no fear, and the mudra conveys a promise of protection. It is an ancient gesture of friendship and benevolence, often depicted in paintings and statues of Buddhas and other Eastern deities and teachers. A Buddhist legend relates that when the Buddha was being attacked by an angry elephant, he simply held his hand in Abhaya mudra. Immediately the raging animal became calm. Bringing your own hand into this mudra instills in you a similar attitude of fearlessness that extends out to everyone who comes into contact with you. And there's a beautiful visualization that goes with this mudra. So if you'd like to imagine a beautiful silver or golden funnel coming through the crown of your head into your mind. And as you inhale, divine light flows through the funnel into your head. And from there, it flows on into your body. Let yourself be filled with this divine light. And this light can represent courage, fearlessness, goodwill, confidence, strength, or compassion and love. Whatever quality you want to draw towards you, you can imagine that pouring in through the crown of your head, through this funnel as you inhale. And send that right down into your belly. And while exhaling, the light flows back out through your right hand and you direct it toward the respective person or thing that you must confront. I believe in the good of humanity and that I am held, I am safe, and I am loved. 2 more breaths here. Let your breath come to a gentle rhythm. Let the visualization melt away. Bring your hands into prayer position, little bow. And then you can lie down and get ready for Yoga Nidra. So whatever qualities that you came to mind as you're doing that mudra and that visualization, maybe you could turn those qualities into a intention for Yoga Nidra, a sankalpa. The one we have on our card today is my fearless freedom lights up the world. So all sankalpas are always in the present tense. So if you need courage, if you need fearlessness, if you need more joy, if you need stability, peace, calm, compassion, turn any words that are relevant to you into a short and powerful statement of intent as you settle in your relaxation pose, shavasana with blanket, cushions, eye pillow. Wriggle yourself into the ground. Once you're comfortable, you want to really, if possible, stay motionless through Yoga Nidra. So make sure you're really comfortable. And as you start to get comfy, begin by taking a deep breath in. Fill the lungs completely. As you exhale, let go of anything that is no longer serving you in order that you can achieve your intentions. So anything that's blocking you from achieving that intention, let it go. And as the breath starts to settle, as all the tension melts away into the earth, beneath the breath, notice pulsations, vibration in the body, life force flowing through you. Settle into that pulsation. The energy is beating your heart, drawing in the in-breath, releasing the out-breath, allowing all systems in the body to regulate themselves. And now bring your awareness back to that intention. And just like a seed, imagine you're planting your intention with care and love and a resolve that it will grow. So repeat your intention now 3 times. And when you're finished, bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows and rest here for a moment. And now we're going to scan the body. So as I name a body part, just allow your awareness to land briefly like a butterfly at each point. And allow any stagnation, any tension to dissolve, any blocks to healing to dissolve, and invite loving energy in. We're starting in the mouth, so soften the tongue, relax the jaw, Whole mouth relaxing. Right nostril, left nostril. Right eye relaxing. Left eye softening. Right cheek, left cheek. Right ear, left ear. Forehead smoothing. Back of the head softening. Jaw releasing. And swallow to relax the throat. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Both shoulders heavy on the ground. Right elbow, left elbow softening. Both elbows softening. Right wrist, left wrist. Both wrists expanding. Right hand, left hand. Both hands heavy. Throat, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, center of the chest. Solar plexus, fire in the belly. And down to that area below the navel, the very center of your being. Right hip joint, left hip joint, both hips softening. Right knee, left knee, both knees relaxing. Right ankle, left ankle, both ankles expanding. Right foot, left foot, both feet relaxing. The whole right side of your body softening. The whole left side of your body softening. The whole body as one, heavy on the ground. So still. Motionless. Once again, find the center deep in the belly. And from this center, feel a healing life force flowing through you to every cell and nerve. Now begin to breathe in and out with your mouth slightly open, just for a few rounds. As you breathe in, let in life force, strength, courage, vitality. And as you breathe out, releasing anything that is spent, stagnant, taking up space. Breathe in life force. Breathe out, letting go. Find your own rhythm. At the end of your next out breath, close the mouth and come back to your normal breath. And now begin counting backwards from 9 to 0, like this. 9, I am breathing in. 9, I am breathing out. 8, I am breathing in. 8, I am breathing out. counting down to 0. Talk through every breath, slow and rhythmic. If you lose count, begin again at 9. Let your breath guide you to 0. And now stop and return to the space between your eyebrows. Be still. Feel sensation in your body. Now bring your awareness to your feet and the heels touching the ground. Feel that the feet and the heels are so heavy on the ground. The legs so heavy, hips heavy, lower back heavy, rooted to the earth, rib cage heavy, and shoulders heavy like 2 bricks, elbows heavy. Hands feel like someone's put a heavy book in each of your hands, so heavy. Back of the head heavy on the ground. I am so heavy. What does heavy feel like? How does that impact on the mind and the body? And then bring your awareness to your toes and breathe in and imagine the toes are so light, light like feathers. The shins are light, the kneecaps are light. Breathe in and feel the thighs and the hip bones light. Belly light, upper abdomen, ribs and chest light. Front of the shoulders light like a feather. Arms light, elbows, wrists, palms of the hands light, floating. Breathe in to the feeling of lightness, face light, whole of the head light. I am so light, I am floating. Soft, spacious. And then bring your awareness back to heavy. Where can you still feel heavy in the body? And then switch back to the feeling of being light. I am heavy, but I am also light. Hold both sensations at the same time and notice how this feels in your body and mind. Heavy and light together. And now come to the space between your eyebrows and relax and be still. Visualize a white light bathing your entire body. Visualize this light covering the whole of your skin, bathing the outer body in white light. And then through the crown of the head, through that funnel that we visualized in the meditation, imagine this white light filling the whole of the inside of your body. Every cell, every organ, every muscle, every bone, filled with white light. And into this light, release all nervousness, all fears, and all blocks to healing. And let the light leave your body out through the soles of your feet, taking with it all nervousness, all fears, and all blocks to healing. Totally let go. You have entered a silent oasis. Here you can just be and surrender, do nothing. In this place of surrender, of deep silence, your intention is heard and you have an opportunity to rewire any part of you for healing and health. So repeat your intention now 3 times. Feel your intention is already happening. Watch it happening like a movie on a screen in front of you. Now return to the space between your eyebrows and rest here for a moment. Slowly begin to tap into your breath once again. Not controlling or directing the breath, but simply moving with the in and out rhythm of your breath. Just like the tide rolls in and out along the beach. Feel how the breath and the body move as one, almost as if the breath is breathing you. Cyclical, rhythmic, a part of nature. Now breathe in through your heart and follow your breath to a spot in your body that's calling out to you. Ride the breath like a wave until you find the place where it lands. And settle here. Breathe in and out here a few times to this place. And in this space, you might like to repeat your intention again 3 times, or you might like to just rest in this space and see if an image, a word, or a phrase presents itself. Or you might like to drop a question into this space, like, what's my next step? Or what guidance do I need in my life in this moment? And when you're ready, exhale back out through your heart. And bring your attention back to the space between your eyebrows. And now slowly, slowly, begin to externalize your attention into the room around you, your placement in the room, sounds in the room or outside of the room. Feel your body on the ground. Feel the temperature of the room on your skin and the texture of the clothing or the weight of a blanket. Slowly deepen your in-breath and notice the scent in the room. Find yourself awakening the more you deepen your breath. You can take a lovely deep inhale and you can nicely sigh away the exhale through the mouth. Bring your awareness back to that intention and imagine it's already moving towards you. The wheels are already in motion for that intention to manifest itself as a reality in your life. Deepening the breath, start to move the body ever so slowly, micro movements. Maybe starting with the toes or the fingers. You might be ready for a stretch and a yawn. You might be ready to lift up the knees, maybe massage your lower back into the ground. In your own rhythm, waking up. Notice your breath, notice your heartbeat. Notice your whole self coming back, waking up. Then roll over onto your right side and take a few breaths here. And as it said on our card at the beginning of the class, my fearless freedom lights up the world. So get ready to step into the rest of your beautiful day. Whenever you're ready, push yourself up to sitting. Take a few breaths to ground yourself, especially if you went quite deep. Hands, palms down on the thighs, wriggle into your shoulders. Feel yourself rooted back on Mother Earth, on planet Earth, safe and sound. Breathing in, lengthening, lifting. Breathing out, drop into your seat. Drop into that feeling of being rooted, anchored. I'm safe. I am held. I am loved. All is well. Another nice deep breath. Lifting the crown of the head towards the light, towards the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars. And then drop your body into the earth, into the rock, the soil, solid ground beneath you. Hands into prayer position. Blink your eyes open. Bring your hands to the brow. Deep bow as we say Namaste together. Namaste. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. See you next time. Lots of love.